light, hope, love, joy, faith, peace, unity. Do you think these are the words that most people connect to spirituality?
Ooh, well, spirituality is so unique that I think that probably if we got 10 people in the room, we could probably have 10 different sets of words. So I do think that spirituality is very unique. And I think that's one of the things that's so beautiful about it. I'm thinking back to when I did my Master's of Education in Counseling Psychology. One of the courses that I took was called Multicultural Counseling. And we looked at how to do counseling with people of different cultures. So many things in Western society are geared towards doing something with white heterosexual men. Like there's, this sort of unity, not kind of unity that you and I usually talk about, but it's just like expecting everybody to fall under one very specific category of people. So this multicultural counseling course, I found it to be a spiritual experience, unlike any of the other courses that I took. And it's because in order for somebody of one culture to communicate with somebody of another culture, whether they have a common language or not, they have to go beyond any kinds of sort of assumptions or anything like that. You need to be able to communicate, like from the depth of your soul, what it is that you're trying to say to the other person of another culture in a very open way so that they might be able to understand what you're saying. And it takes more conversation in order to be able to communicate with someone of another culture. And so I just think that that is so powerful. And that's why I discovered, multicultural situations, they're going to be more spiritual because of that letting go of assumptions that's necessary to really connect heart to heart. So that's why I think that, if we had 10 people in the room, we would have 10 different sets of words associated.
Now that I'm looking at these words, how many businesses are actually trying to bring any of these values? How many businesses do actually have these values as part of their strategy? It's not that many.
I think it's sort of in a baby phase at this point. But, like there's a growing number of business people that are wanting to run businesses from these kinds of values. There are not industries in the world that are operating from a place of spirituality because they are so structured and hierarchical and top down. Like, if you were tempted to look at, religions, they are so structured. And so there's just this shutdown.
A lot of these corporations, they have the fixed mindset. Even though they think of themselves as growth mindset leaders, they are restricted by the framework they've created, and they are forgetting they're in charge of that framework. And they can change the framework, they can leave the framework, but because once you set up the structure of the business, you're now running ahead thinking, I need to secure the jobs, I need to secure the opportunities. And it's, the structure is fixed because you think that's it. Once I've done it, it's done, it's settled. But that foundation, imagine if it's a garden and you've planted the seeds and the seeds are blossoming, and that's the beginning of the business. But that you can buy more land, you can expand the garden, you can change what you're planting in that garden, being fluid with what you're growing. And a lot of people think of that business structure, business foundation as cement. And I think what we're trying to build with spirituality is we're bringing the seeds back to the soil. We're connecting with Mother Nature, and it's alive. The structure is alive. The foundation is strong because our roots are in there, spiritual roots, physical roots, but we're allowing it to grow as we grow. There's this element of connecting with nature and co-creating with nature. And I think where spirituality exists at the moment in industries, it's the industries that are trying to bring more holistic living. So there is some spirituality, but maybe people are afraid to call it spirituality. They're using the label holistic so that it doesn't bring a negative connotation, because I think people are still afraid to talk about spirituality as if it's something bad, which is interesting. We're learning.